Okay, this part's gonna be a little bit different. I'm actually watching my LP right now. What happened was I lost my commentary. None of it was salvageable. So I'm recording a second one. This is basically post-gameplay commentary. I haven't done this in a long time. Yeah, I'm not gonna read this, even though I did last time. But you can read it. So yeah. My mic broke. Isn't that great? I don't like that it broke, but what can I do? Luckily, this is kind of a short part, so... I mean, right now my timer on the video is only 31 minutes. Just sucks that I'm gonna have to re-record my dialogue. Yeah, this guy has no more meal tickets. He ran out. I'll try to read some of the things as I go along, you know, just to make sure I'm still a bit into the game. Anyways, I got another magic here for 6,000. Brought me up to 90. Wondering if I can go up to 99, but I really feel like paying 8,000. Not that I had enough for it anyway. So yeah, it sucks that I lost my commentary. It had to happen on the last part. None of it was salvageable on this. I had the same problem with the next part of Persona 3 as well, for anyone who might be following that as well. And on that, I was able to kind of salvage the last 2/3. No, the last third of it. So, for the next little bit, I'm going to be spending on trying to get this done. At one point, I was going to fast forward it, but I kind of forget how many attempts I did before I decided to do that. So, here I know I have to fly again, but I still run into the, you see, I still die. In fact, I'm very tempted to just keep fast forwarding through this because it's not like it's happening, yeah. I think I'm going to fast forward through all this now because of the fact that, this is not my original commentary anymore, so it's kind of useless to show it in its entirety and waste your time. But, yeah, I still failed pretty bad at this portion. Unfortunately now, I don't really know how fast it's gonna go, so I should probably skip the video a bit ahead to, let's see if I can increase my speed, perhaps. Let's see. That seems good enough for now. So I'm going to try and do it here. Increase the speed on the video player to hopefully, you know, see if I can, you know, think of how long I can talk before I get back to the original part. Maybe what I'll do is I'll just kind of skip ahead soon and leave the sped up parts as is. So without any dialogue like I would have had normally. So yeah, I think that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to go to the closest portion I could think of. So I'm just skipping the video right now. It really sucks that I'm doing it this way. But I can't think of any other way to do it, unfortunately. I'm going to have to somehow get myself... Man, this goes on for a long time. This goes on for nearly 9 minutes. Alright, this is around the time where I gave up. So after I gave up there, because I wasn't really doing good, it's that last portion, as you can tell, where you have to go down and break them. So, the game ended a lot sooner than I expected. I actually thought it was going to go on for a little bit longer, but apparently... I mean, I looked at how much time I had. I had only played 5 hours, roughly. So, I thought it was supposed to go on for around 8 hours, and was surprised at how quickly this thing ended. I'm not going to complain, necessarily. As you can see, I kind of died there by accident. And this is where I realized that this was going to be the final boss only, because there was only one save at it. So, the level itself is not very long at all. It's quite short, and half of it is actually nothing but walking in a way. I'm not going to complain about it necessarily, but when you think of a final dungeon, you kind of think about it a little bit more. Unless you want to count the foot of the tower to be the actual long port. kind of like in a Castlevania game where Castlevania games you actually get Dracula's portions are kind of long actually. They did what they did, and you know, I'll accept what they did. So here I was going really slow because I just wanted to make sure that I wasn't gonna make a like suddenly run and end up having to like fall off because I went too fast. Yeah, I wish I had my original commentary, I really do, but there's nothing I can do to get it back at all. It's really bad, and I have to do this for an hour and 15 minutes worth of Persona 3 2. I'm lucky with this one that it's as short as it is. Which means I'm gonna have to listen to this again, unfortunately, and edit it, and cut out whatever, but hey, it's my own fault for having my mic just suddenly break on me. No sign at all, it just broke on me. I'm not gonna... If you listen to Persona 3 Part 88, I believe it is, you'll get to hear how bad it is when you listen to the last, third of it. Yeah, I was really going slow, because I kept saying, oh, I don't know if it's gonna suddenly, like, have a hole, or suddenly the blocks are... If maybe I'll beat the blocks, that'll fall off. I didn't want to risk anything at all. And then you're here. I'm gonna read the text. It's a beautiful night, isn't it? Shield Knight, come with me. Let us leave this place. So yeah, I figured that the Shield Knight may have been the Enchantress. How pitiful, clinging to false hope, chasing ghosts. So, have you come to slay me, Knight? To avenge your beloved? Gaze into my eyes. See how fearful I am. Watch me cower as you draw your blade. I don't need a blade to fight evil, Shield Knight. I know you aren't lost forever. You haven't the slightest hope of defeating me, but I won't stop you from trying, so please. Let us dance together into the abyss. Yeah, I never really mentioned it, but I had a hypothesis that the Enchantress and Shield Knight may have been one of the same. It was what the Black Knight was talking about. Because who was he trying to say? The Enchantress? I had an idea it was the Shield Knight. Now, this level is automatically interesting and caught my eyes due to the fact that she can break it, and if you try and go and do a dive with your sword, your shovel that is, that you were going to break through it. So here I was going to try to use this item. But as you'll see, it doesn't really work well eventually. She does these weird kick-like things, I guess, or dies. And when she's down there, I had a lot of trouble trying to reach her. So, that proved to be a useless item. When she's down there, you can't do much, I figured. The only saving grace is that those fires actually bring back the land. That's nice, at least. Doesn't stay gone for the entire battle. Some sort of timed battle where you gotta constantly watch the ground and hope that it doesn't go away. Because I wouldn't put it past some game developers to do that, to try and completely get you to, like, rush at the final battle. But here, I made a boo-boo and I got stuck inside it with no way to get out. Isn't that stupid? And then I fell. But, hey, at least I don't have to go through the entire thing again. I'm very close. If you want to call it good, I guess. Of course, now looking back, the boss isn't too hard per se. But then I discovered something else. I can attack it with its own shots. That was something nice to learn. Of course, I made a stupid error there again, so I died another time. Stupidly, of course. And of course, gotta make my way back once again. And fight the Enchantress, or perhaps Shield Knight once again. This time I really tried to give the Enchantress a beating. And I try that again, but it doesn't work. Because when she's down there, I don't like the idea of not being able to hit her. It's kind of a... You know, I'm just so vulnerable, and she, you know, just has the advantage over me. But as you can see, it's just... She moves around so much down there, it's hard to get her. Well, of course, luckily she does that and comes back up. And, yeah. I'm trying to save all my comments about the game for the end portion, since there's a lot of credits to get through. There's almost as much credits as there is gameplay. Anyways, here, I almost get her, and yes. We defeated the Enchantress. Or did we? Breaking the glass. But nope. Turns out it was the Shield Knight. So she didn't truly disappear. Looks like what we've been doing the entire time in our dream sequence to catch her. You caught me! If only I had known, I would have come sooner. You knew I was still there, even though it seemed hopeless. You never gave up on me. I will never give up on you. I will follow you to the end of the world. It appears that maybe you have. What's happening? Oh, no. When the amulet shattered, the magic within it was released. It's already gathering. We'll escape and wreak havoc on everything. Unless we stop it. Unless we stop it, we can destroy it. We can destroy it for good here. But we're both weak from battle. I've never been more ready. Come on, Shovel Knight. Let's fight together like old times. Now, stay close to me. Now, I interpreted that a bit too literally at this point, and you'll see why. First of all, we get a giant enchantress, which apparently came out of the amulet. Now, my line of thinking here was, when she said stay behind me, I thought I literally had to stay behind her. So because she's got a shield. She's the Shield Knight. I was thinking maybe if I stay, and then I had trouble figuring out what to do when she jumped up. Again, I interpreted her a bit too literally, unfortunately. That's my own fault, though, for, reading it properly. And it took me a while to even figure out what to do to get the Enchantress here. That's the only part you're protected, though, from Shield Knight. Eventually, I came to discover, and we'll wait and see when that happens. I mean, it should be obvious after all that, but I'm not good with the obvious, apparently. Because of how high she goes, I was thinking you couldn't do anything. And so you see me wasting away once again. Almost dead, actually. I don't even know if I'll do it before I die. Oh yeah, see? I learned to jump eventually. That took me a while because of the way that she was so high up that I didn't know if I could even make it. I thought the Shield Knight was really going to protect me from every shot. I had to stay behind her. Would have been an interesting but difficult concept because she moves around so much. And it's around this point that I realized that I should just hit the things and not bother to stay behind Shield Knight. Stay close to her so I can jump up on the shield, but move in my own way so that I can at least dodge those things. And eventually I learned to do that, as you can see. But of course, gotta let's get up there. You gotta do it on the second jump, I think, because the first one you can't really make it. And I think I survived this turn this time around, though. Wait, no, I'm not really sure. I'll have to wait and see. So I finally get my hits on her. I don't even remember myself. I think there might be a stupid death again, but we'll wait and see. Yeah. So let's just watch and see how I do again. Yeah, I gotta do like 2 jumps, really. And eventually things will change up, so it doesn't stay this easy all the time. Of course, if I missed the Shield Knight by accident... but I didn't, of course. See, now, apparently Enchantress decides to do that and break some of the ground, if you get far enough. Also hurts you in the process, but luckily, I'm very close to defeating it. But they changed it up for the last little bit of health. Once again, this is actually the easier portion I found. Of course, I couldn't actually make it up, and then they do this on you. But again, because it only shoots here, I mentioned two at the same time, it helps out quite a bit. And we defeated the Enchantress. Too bad I don't have my original commentary, though. It's over, Shovel Knight. This place is falling apart. We have to get out of here. Let's go. But you can't finish because Shovel Knight got blasted. Shield Knight! Black Knight, thank goodness you're here. Shovel Knight is wounded. Take him and get outside. No, I can't leave you behind. How will you escape? This magic is too strong. I can't hold out much longer. Run! You can't deflect it. It will tear you apart. I'm so happy I got to see you both one last time. Shield Knight! Go, take Shovel Knight. Save him. Promise me you'll save him. So it's like we worked all that time to save Shield Knight, and then she sacrifices herself. And back in the city, we see the results of what's happening. All the people are gathered because there's an earthquake, and the tower disappears. Everyone rejoices. But we made all that journey to save Shield Knight, and in the end, it seems she still dies. Kind of a waste of time when you think about it. Granted, we probably had to get rid of the Enchantress anyways, regardless of what happened. Because I don't know how she... I don't know if the Shield Knight somehow got possessed. Oh yeah, here's the King Knight. Got turned into a slave. Truple Pawn. Now we get to see everywhere. We have the Dancer hanging around there with that guy who I saw before. Oh yeah, he's the one who sold me the Truple thing. Now I remember. Let the celebration begin. I never really used whatever he gave me in that amulet. No, not the amulet, but that thing. The Lich Yard, Spectre Knight. Yeah, this is a pretty odd area. There's Spectre Knight. And there's that woman with that game. And apparently they're together. I don't know why she's here now. But he can't seem to win. I did a lot better than he did. Iron Whale Treasure Knight. And now, I don't know really what the ship is for, unless it's just for treasure digging or something. And I'm not sure if that's chest or not. For some reason, ill-gotten gains reclaimed. I don't know if that was Treasure Knight being like just sitting there depressed. Here's for the Plague Knight at the Explodatorium. He was an annoying boss for sure. And there we have the magic guy with us for some reason. Well, that makes sense. Oh, hey, two magic guys. Lost City Mole Knight. This place was a bit of a pain in some ways. Excavations and expeditions. Well, it looks like he's helping out now, though. He's helping everyone find treasure. And a ladder fell. The Wandering Travelers. At first I thought these were the guys, but then these are the enemies. What we do see eventually is these guys we battled, the Wandering Travelers. We fought all these guys, and now they're always ready for battle, apparently. You gotta fight, apparently, as the Wandering Traveler. Propeller Knight, the flying machine. Living the life carefree. There's that woman who was like in love with every knight. Except on the right side, that's a dude. So apparently he's in love with him too. Here we get the Clock Tower Tinker Knight. Working away with the blacksmith and the kids there. Toys for the children. Apparently now he makes toys. All these knights turned good apparently. Were they good before and just possessed by the evil? Stranded Ship Polar Knight. Just standing there with his helmet off. No real text for it apparently. He just stands there. And now back at the campfire site where the Black Knight puts the Shovel Knight down. Safe at last. I kept my promise, Shield Knight. Rest well, Shovel Knight, until we meet again. And it seems Shovel Knight doesn't come back. Interesting end when you think about it. It's very rare you get to have one of the main good people fall in battle like that, especially in a game that's like this. And here are the credits. This is where I talked about the game, and I shall do it again. So overall, a good game, decent. It has decent platforming. Obviously, like I mentioned before, based off the Mega Man series. Directors for a day, huh? Wonder what that means. From the two best friends play. Anyway, yeah. And look, a production baby too. So yeah, very interesting game. A bit shorter than I had anticipated. A review I read, I believe, had said around 8 hours. So I noticed at the end, though, what you'll see is that there's treasures collected. So maybe that's when you get everything. And I noticed there's a lot of special things. Fuzzy Wuzzy Games. This is going to go on for a long time. I was surprised at how many special things. NF Magazine and the Nintendo Force. So I guess something called Nintendo Force Magazine. One thing I had mentioned, and I'll mention here too, is the fact that, you know, Yacht Games, they set themselves up with this game as being competent developers, indie developers too. So I'd like to see more from them, but I don't want them to become a stereotype and just stick to like the retro-style platforming games. I'd like to see more out of them, because I'm pretty sure they can do a lot more. maybe a more modern platforming game even, because you don't have to stick with retro sprite art. You can do sprite art even without being retro. There's no sprite art doesn't necessarily age, and I didn't know this was a Kickstarter thing even, but apparently it was. I only noticed that when that happened. And then you get a whole bunch of other things: physics, box 2D, level editor. So they used a lot of tools that have been already made, like pixel editor, 1997. One thing I was wondering is that maybe they had used the Family Tracker to make this music, since that's very popular for amateur. And here's my log for amateur NES music makers, but that apparently wasn't it. The ones in yellow, I'm pretty sure it's because I died more than 5 times. So it means I did bad. And I was generally around 20 minutes or under, except in Pridemore Keep. So I generally kept good timing. Tower of Fate was only 9 minutes, so there wasn't that much gameplay in here. A lot of it wasted on me trying to get that treasure place. So I'm going to actually end this video shorter than I had it originally, because this actually goes on for a little bit longer on the end screen. Total lives lost, 58. Total haul, 127,469. Total gold lost, 42,883. Time played, 5 hours. I got completion 72%. Yeah, only 5 hours. I was surprised about that. But what can you do? You know, it was at least a decent game. Thank you for playing. Produced by Yacht Club Games. And as I mentioned, I'd like to see more from them, but away from the retro thing. But is that it? We're back here, actually. And of course, it turns out Shield Knight did survive. Badly injured, but survived, and made her way back here to Shovel Knight. Or maybe she's not real, but that doesn't make sense, because he's not even awake yet. Just sits down next to him. And of course, we have the end. The end of Shovel Knight. And as I said, unfortunately, we don't have my original commentary. That much I don't like. I'm going to end this shorter than I had originally had it, because I was talking a little bit more. Persona 3, the answer is going to continue. Of course, if you're not watching that, that's fine. It doesn't matter. Not everyone wants to watch Persona. And I'm hoping to get started on Persona 4 as soon as I can, and some other games I got planned. Hopefully, if anyone's watching this, go vote in my poll. I finally got the tie broken at this point, actually, just right now, which I should go update everything. But if anyone else wants to vote, feel free to do so, because I'm always looking for people to vote on these games. And so that's it. And hopefully you enjoyed this, and see you in all the other games. So long.